All right, so got a little breakfast idea here. Good healthy option. So, a little while back did a video what I get at the grocery store. Got a little inside there, but I'm gonna show you how I make one of my breakfasts. I have this a lot. So, real quick, shout out to my roommate and teammate Murga. He showed me this. Been a big fan of eggs for a long time, but he showed me this where you add some other stuff to it. So, if you remember in that video, got like a bunch of tomatoes. I mentioned I was gonna put them in eggs. This is what I'm talking about. So, you start off with diced tomatoes. So ideally you have tomatoes, you dice those up. So a good sized tomato, maybe about the size of a baseball. I'm out of tomatoes, but I mentioned in that video, keep some cans of diced tomatoes on me, and this is why. So we're gonna get into this. All right, if you're using the diced in the can, I do about half a can here in the skillet, in the pan, whatever. So you got that there. Now I'm gonna add some water. You can see there, I added a little bit of water. So here's what we're gonna do. You got that in there. Let's crank this up. You can put it on high. I put it almost on high. So we're gonna let that cook down a little bit. And while that's cooking down, we got some other stuff. All right, here we got some garlic. I'm gonna dice that up real quick and throw that in the tomatoes. You can see I got that diced up. About as fine as I could get. Do whatever. I mean, with anything like this, there's always a little bit of flexibility. So if you don't like garlic, don't use garlic, but I do, so dice that up. All right, something you want to do every so often is kind of stir this up a little bit, especially if you cut the tomatoes. You want to kind of stir them a little bit, maybe press them down a little bit. Just kind of especially you don't want anything to stick here, but just kind of keeping that moving around, keeping that mixed. Next thing we're gonna do here is let's see here, salt. Use whatever salt you want, it doesn't really matter, but we're gonna liberally salt that. I like salt, so I put a little extra in there, especially with running, sweating a lot in the summer. It's always good to get a little extra sodium. You see, we're just letting that kind of cook down. Let that water evaporate out of there. Takes a little time, but it's worth it, trust me. All right, you can see most of the water is evaporated, so this is where I kind of switched up a little bit of what Murga taught me here. We're gonna throw some spinach in here. All right, I took a nice handful of spinach there. I know it looks like a lot, it'll cook down, but I like spinach, really good for you, so if you don't like spinach, don't put it in there. All right, you can see most of that's cooked down. Still got a little bit of moisture in there. That's all right. So at this point, what I do, we're gonna take it off that eye. This eye's still pretty hot. We're gonna turn that down pretty low. Turn that down pretty low, but it's still gonna be pretty hot. So you gotta let that kind of cool off a little bit. And while we're doing that, then I'm gonna throw the eggs in here. Actually, before I put the eggs in here, so at this point, you either put in like olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you want to put in. I'm going to put in butter this time. I mix it up, so whatever you're feeling that day. If you're using butter, obviously let it melt, kind of mix it around, get it evenly mixed throughout, then you can put the eggs in. I got 2 eggs in here. Normally I do 2 eggs. If I'm really hungry, I'll put 3 in there, but 2 to 3 is kind of standard with what we got here. So I'm going to salt this just a little more, and then we're gonna mix it up. All right, you can see I got that pretty evenly mixed up here. So this has had time to cool down some. Obviously it's still hot. We're gonna put this over there and just constantly stir it while it's cooking. Now you can see it's mostly cooked there. So at this point, it's when I throw in some shredded cheese. Use whatever kind of shredded cheese you want, mix that up. It's almost done. I like to top it off with just a little pepper here. If it'll come out. There we go. So yeah, there it is. I mean, from this point, you can get creative. Sometimes I'll throw avocado on there. A lot of times I throw ranch. I just ran out of ranch. Haven't been to the store, but I'm a big ranch guy. So there you have it. Nice breakfast of champions. Really healthy. And it's you got a lot of options here. You can really mix it up, kind of throw in there whatever you want. Yeah, give that a try. Come back, drop it in the comments. Let me know if you tried it. One thing I will say, this took 20, almost 25 minutes to make. So if you're in a hurry, don't try making this. Does take a little bit of time. It's worth it. Tastes better than just throwing some eggs in a super hot pan real quick, scrambling them. Takes a couple minutes, but this take a little bit of time. Promise it's worth it. So yeah, that's that. Well, inside information. You know, we don't always give too much information out, but we're gonna give that out today. So again, try that, give it a try. Let me see what you think.